Okay. So nice out. So in this video, I wanted to talk about like maybe like activism and moral obligation. Now this came into my mind because there was this like fight in my school on Twitter that I kind of saw but didn't get involved with really. I didn't know the people too well and thought it wouldn't make much sense to get involved. But it was basically about meat eaters saying that vegans should respect their personal choice to eat animal products. And so I started thinking about this and thinking about animal activism, vegan activism, and those kinds of things, and how they tie into this whole there's moral obligation to not hurt animals without necessity, or if it's not for survival. And okay, from the perspective of me, even a few months ago, I tried so much to cling on to this hope that maybe what I was doing wasn't wrong, because I wasn't vegan. I wasn't it made me really, really uncomfortable to eat dairy and egg products, but I still was clinging on to this, well, it's okay, just disassociate from that reality. And that gap between truth and how I think that truth or that reality is, that gap got closer and closer and closer until I was like, okay, I have to stop, I cannot have this in my life, and it just kind of became. But I did try really, really hard to not think about it, and I think that's something that everyone does, because when you because of how we're brought up, you don't really think about what's behind that hamburger, what's behind cheese, or even that, so 99% of people I know don't even think about there being a problem with drinking milk or dairy, and eggs, that sort of thing. It's oh, it's not hurting the animal, there's no way. And then once you're presented with reality or truth, I think maybe you have defense mechanisms to bring you back away from that, so you can justify doing what you've been doing your entire life, and you don't feel that any obligation really to change if you believe in your mind that nothing's wrong, or if you really just don't care. But for me, it was that whole belief thing. And so it was so easy to disassociate from and connect the dots between what I was doing and the steps behind what actually is what's in front of me, in my plate. Anyway, that's just kind of me. But I have gotten so passionate about this, and it blows my mind that I was able for so many years, with the thought in the back of my mind that what I was doing didn't feel okay with me, but I continued doing it. There's a lot of reasons why, but that happened for years, and it's crazy how I allowed myself to do that. But yeah, for some people, the thought or the ideas just don't even cross their minds, because they were probably brought up a lot differently than I was. I was taught to be very open-minded, be independent, make your own choices, don't hurt other people, that kind of thing. So I think that helped me kind of be open to new ideas, be open to new ways of looking at what I think is truth. But yeah, so I totally understand the whole meat eater's dilemma, or that whole I need justification, or when people are attacking or making comments about these parts of my being that I'm so comfortable with, diet. Diet is a huge personal part of our lives that we don't really maybe we don't I don't know. Food is something really, really intimate, and so so when people vegans or something are saying something about it, that it pokes at that comfort in in your daily habit and routine. So people express it all differently, and so there's different forms of activism. And personally, I think the best way to go about it, and like promoting kind of thinking open-mindedly, and trying to educate yourself and maybe change your diet and lifestyle, is with compassion and understanding and empathy, because there's very few people that were brought up baby born vegans, so it's like I just think of like how I would like to be approached, as like maybe when I was younger and didn't really know much about it. People don't want to be attacked, no matter what. People don't want to be yelled at, people don't want to be criticized, but you can be loving and compassionate with educating people and saying, hey, it's so there's like a really, really hard line between kind of like confronting people about things that are like wrong. Like, I believe eating animal products is wrong and immoral, but I totally understand how society continues to do it and how people continue to do it, even if they do know truth behind like factory farming and the whole process with those things. And I understand, but yeah, I just don't think attacking people is the most constructive way to go about it. And I think there's different forms of activism, and maybe we need all these different types of activism together to make it like balanced and a thing or whatever. But yeah, I think the best way about promoting like the lifestyle is to be compassionate about it and come from a place of love, because my friend Belinda said like that's what veganism is all about. It's based on compassion and love. So it just makes sense to go about it with love, peace, and compassion in your mind. So anyway, I have another thought. Like, without attacking people, like personally saying you are wrong, I do believe in my heart that the act of humans eating meat when it's not for survival and isn't necessary and is destroying our planet and destroying millions of people's health worldwide, I don't believe that is a moral or ethical thing to do at the core. But you can't go around attacking people for that, because they probably don't know, or they're probably so conditioned by society that they will justify their actions, which is normal, like defense mechanisms. Who likes to have something bad pointed out about themselves? But I do think that's necessary in life. But to do that kindly and compassionately with an open mind yourself is the best way to go about it. So if you do eat meat, hello, I love you. If you don't eat meat, hello, I love you. And if you do eat meat, educate yourself. Maybe try to open your compassion circle to animals and see from the victim's perspective without blinders of what society is teaching you, and and if you don't eat meat, hello, maybe we can, without getting angry, because I think the initial reaction once you find out, at least for me, if you do go vegan, is kind of like anger and like confusion, like why aren't we being taught this? This can't be true, this is so awful, and then you get kind of angry and you start seeing the world from a totally different and shifted perspective, where you start seeing pain and suffering when you used to just see a hamburger and it wasn't a big deal. So it can be hard to be okay with the people you love around you like taking part in such like in suffering, it's really hard to see. But with that, you shouldn't really project that on other people. I think you should maybe go about spreading your knowledge and your newfound perspective on life and diet and animal products in a compassionate and loving way, because that's what gets across the best. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts, because I've been thinking about it a lot. So yeah, I don't know, eat plants. Oh my gosh, a cardinal. Educate yourself, love everyone. Yeah, okay, bye.